gets dark.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DemonPeaks podcast, dirtiest place outside of the Roadhouse, and the only podcast on the entirety of the internet to hear about Twin Peaks. I'm, of course, DemonPeaks. That's Sean, and this is GothPeaks. Adam, say hello, Adam.
What's happening, everybody?
On today's show, we're going to talk about video games. More to the point, our top 5 favorite video games. We're kind of playing with the video game conversation thing. See how people like it. It's not really a big topic for us.
Definitely not for me, dude. I don't have time for them anymore, unfortunately.
I play like 20 minutes of something bullshit a day. Like I tried.
Me too, and that's why one of the only games I play now is like a game of Call of Duty, like a team deathmatch or something, and then I have to get on to the rest of my day.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Before we start, I want to give a shout out to the people who did our opening song. Lula is in trouble. The song is Midnight Coffee. If you're on YouTube, our logos and art were done by Corvid Days. Find them on Etsy. They do amazing work. The show opening was done by Goth himself. Very good job. It's amazing. He did an incredible job, as usual.
Thank you.
I don't know what format you're listening to on, and let's talk about the format for a second. I think we should drop Anchor. We get no
nothing on Anchor
plays. We get no plays on any of that. So we might just do YouTube. People seem to like, we get 40, 50, 60 hits on,
So there wouldn't be any audio. It would be
just video. But I mean, you could just listen, just fucking have it in the background.
I would think it would be good to at least have it available to.
We could do it. We just get no listeners on it.
We might eventually.
We'll talk about it later. But I think if I don't see some movement in the next couple episodes, I'm not going to work on. There's no point. You know what I mean? Sure. If later we get a big following, we could come back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can always bring it back. No, I get that. That's totally cool.
We'll talk about it later.
And then re-upload.
Because they can extract but they don't let shows over 3 hours on, which I don't know what I'm going to do. Some of these go longer.
They don't let shows over 3 hours on?
No.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it. But we're on YouTube. That's that's my primary concern, and we're also on Anchor and Spotify and other shit. Please check out our Instagrams. That's what the whole thing's about. DemonPeaks, GothPeaks. All right, let's get to it. Start with our questions. What did you grow up playing? What consoles did you grow up playing? Let's talk about video games.
Main two for me were 2. So I was definitely lucky and privileged. Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
You had both at the same time. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Most people, you had a friend who had one and you had the other. That's how most people were.
Yeah, dude, my spoiled ass never even learned to properly hook up the systems as a little child.
So that's a rite of passage.
I know. Well, I
red and the white
much later and all that. Yeah.
And it was never right the first time for some reason.
No, yeah. Always had to blow into the cartridges and all that shit.
You're not supposed to do that now, I guess. We turned out 30 years later.
Now people are still doing. Oh, you mean
it turns out bad for the cartridge?
Well, hindsight's 2020.
So, what did you play on Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System?
It was a lot, man. I feel like looking back, I wonder if it was early ADD or something, or ADHD, because I was always switching my games all the time. I cycled through all of them, yeah. Most of the time, though, it was if I was playing Sega Genesis or something like that, it would usually be probably the Mortal Kombat games or what else did I have for Genesis? Yeah, mostly Mortal Kombat.
It didn't, Mortal Kombat didn't really get good until 2. Same thing with Street Fighter.
Well, the ones that were on Super Nintendo didn't have the
They didn't have the
blood
blood
and
or
the gore.
anything.
So
It's yeah, the Nintendo one sucked for Mortal Kombat. They had Street Fighter though, which I was sucked at. So
yeah, no, I had okay. So when I would play Super Nintendo,
yeah.
Street Fighter 2 for sure is always when I played.
Well, because
that Mario.
there was 2 for like 15 years. It was 2 and then variations on 2. It was like 2 special edition, 2 ultra edition, 2 street edition. And I'm like, where's 3? And then I never knew.
Where's 1? Like, I don't think the first one ever existed ever.
The first one was really terrible because I had a DOS. I think I had a DOS version of it. Seriously.
Really?
And it was fucking awful.
I doubt it exists. I don't think it's real.
I've never actually seen it. It's borderline unplayable. It was a concept.
It didn't happen to be an arcade game, was it?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think so. I think originally it was an arcade. If I recall my Street Fighter history, which for some reason I have a wealth of knowledge of that for no reason. Not a fan, but I know a lot about it. So you were a console kid.
Yeah, always console.
Did you move to like PlayStation 2, or were you an Xbox?
No, just straight to PlayStation. Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation was revolutionized.
Well, again, so I kept up. I was consistent with the 2 system thing. It was I got a PlayStation for a birthday. I got a PlayStation for a birthday one year, and then I think birthday or Christmas the year after, I got a Nintendo 64. So
okay, well, 64 doesn't. Those 2 aren't comparable.
Well, I mean, you had they were teens, right? You had the PlayStation.
I wouldn't. PlayStation blew 64 out of the goddamn water, but like wasn't even close.
I don't know. Like I recall just going to a friend's house all the time, and always they would either have N64 or they would have PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you look at sales, I mean, PlayStation, it was not even close. It was not even close.
You're looking at the sales, I'm not.
So as far as I was a PC kid, like I said, I played DOS. I had a computer as a kid because my mother was an accountant, and she needed a computer. So I had an early like DOS system. So I played like Wolfenstein, and then I got into LucasArts games. Doom, Monkey Island. Doom's not a LucasArts game, but like Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, Sam Max. There was a Hobbit game that I had that you couldn't finish, and I would try to play it all the time. And the reason you couldn't finish is it was a misprint in the book that came with it, and you needed to type something from the book into the game, and it was wrong.
Oh man!
So
they never corrected it.
Me and my dad would play this Hobbit game all the time, and we could never get past the first 10 minutes. And we never knew why.
Wow. Hey, wait. So this would happen in the first 10 minutes of it?
Yeah, it was the first 10 minutes of the fucking game, and we loved Lord of the Rings. I was Lord of the Rings. I even a fan as a little kid. I read The Hobbit in like 2nd grade. I was just a huge fan, and there's tons of games I played a lot of, like Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight. I used to be a modder in that community back in the day.
Nice.
I did have an Atari growing up, and then we got a Sega, and then I got a SNES, and then I got a PlayStation. But still to this day, I'm primarily a PC gamer.
PC gamer.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I have no opposition to anything else. It's all fine.
I like to attribute you being a PC gamer and me being a console gamer as to why you are more of a loner kind of guy.
Is that what it is? I didn't have any friends because I was playing solo.
Because you were
looking at hentai and playing whatever weird. I don't know what this. But I had a PlayStation, and we're gonna get into that right now. Let's talk about wrestling games because we were talking about having friends and playing games. Wrestling games were the epitome of friendship, borderline friendship ending.
Oh yeah, it was one of the pillars of it for sure.
Oh man, because I never, like I said, I spoke about this before. I never used the actual wrestlers. I would make 100 created wrestlers. However, I think SmackDown Here Comes to Payne had 32 slots, so I made 32 created wrestlers.
Oh wow!
It took me
how long?
100 fucking years. Ooh. Because the created wrestlers took longer than anything else.
Oh yeah, because you can get so detailed with that.
You were spending. You wanted every guy to look good, and then I would go through the move set. Every move had to be, what move does this guy do? Why is he doing it? And I would just. We had a little mini federation, I guess you'd call it like a fake federation where we'd just do the game, but it would be like little storylines we'd have, and
nice.
It was kind of fun. I mean, you get around 4 friends to do that. It's a lot of fun, you know.
Those games were always a blast, dude. The best
Oh,
ones, of course, were No Mercy and
No
WrestleMania
Mercy.
2000. Then 64
I
ones.
disagree with WrestleMania, but No Mercy still to this day
Well, I mean,
is
it's
amazing.
the same game.
It's the same engine.
Same engine. Engine.
The
Yeah.
problem is that No Mercy is people still cut. I have No Mercy as an emulator on my thing with the current New Japan roster on it.
Oh,
And
nice.
someone made a patch. They went in and edited all the characters, put all the New Japan characters in it, and all the ring correctly, all the entrances. You to this day, it's still being modded. That's how good of a game it is.
Nice.
So
That's
you
awesome.
can get the current wrestling stuff on your No Mercy now. Like, it's insane, isn't it?
Oh yeah, dude. It was always great when I would when you would rent the No Mercy, because I never owned the game. I always would be lucky enough to rent it every now and then. I'm sure the amount of times I rented it as a kid, or the amount of times my parents rented
it twice
yeah,
over.
Yeah, absolutely. But it would always be cool to rent it, because you would have some pretty interesting wrestlers that were saved onto that cartridge. Yeah, you
there
get
was
some
always
pretty
some
interesting
weird dude that like would make a bunch of women or something, and just like,
yeah.
You're like,
I remember when WrestleMania 2000 came out, there was someone who remade Undertaker to be the American Badass Undertaker, and his name was American Badass in it. So
what a terrible character that was. It didn't even make any sense.
Dude, as a kid, I ate.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Oh, you froze
that shit up, and especially because American Badass, the actual song had "Sad But True" sampled in it, so it had that going for it for me. Yeah, the main guitar. Hey, he's pretty awful at times, but Ba with the Ba is one of the fucking best bangers. Hell yeah! That's I give him awesome song.
I give him credit for one thing that he did is he won newest music award or something like that for that album, and he's like, I've been in music for 15 years, and I won a new music award. Thanks. Like, I give him credit for that, because he was like, I've been doing this for a long time. You guys are gonna give me a new fucking award. Thanks.
Yeah, great.
But we were talking. So I actually had modded my PlayStation so I could play foreign wrestling games.
Oh, okay.
I did the top loader. So you had to take off your top of your system, put this thing on. So in the PlayStation 2, instead of the disc coming out, you had to pop the top open, and you put a special disc in, take it out, put the foreign game in, and then you could play whatever foreign game you wanted to.
That's crazy.
So I had like King of Colosseum 2 and Fire Pro Wrestling, like these Japanese games. I can't read a lick of it, but
my childhood friend's older brother, they had the PlayStation 1, and they modded it, or they put a chip in it or something.
You put a chip, and then you put a toothpick in the thing to keep it open, and you can put whatever game you want in there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would make a copy of the game, like just burn the game straight up, and like be able to play it like that. It's like, wow,
world you barely understand. This is a world.
Well, that's the benefit of you doing the PC gaming thing. You got into that world of this emulating shit. What the fuck is that?
I have emulators for everything. I have. I like to play old games, so I have a Super Nintendo. I have a Nintendo. I got a PSX. I got a 64. I got a Game Boy. I got all of it. If I want to play a game, I'm fucking playing a game.
Are you emulating that you're better than me, man?
I'm emulating, yeah. Which means So here's a question for you before we get into the topic. Have you ever tried to make a game or wanted to make a game?
Well, I technically did in my 6th or 7th grade computer class or something.
Oh, I remember doing that too. Yes.
Yeah. We made some kind of weird games. I don't know what the program was that we used to make it, but they had like these little animated figures.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I don't count that. Would you ever make a game?
Well, I think I wanted to make a game as a kid, but I don't think I had the creativity, or looking back, I can't recall what ideas I would have had that I could have made a game.
And the task in and of itself is incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to have a comic. I did a couple issues.
We got to pause, dude. We got to pause. Sorry.
You all right today? Seem tired.
Just a little tired. Work's been a little hectic. And so again, I after years of waking up at 5 a.m,
yeah.
I still fucking always.
We're not meant to wake up that early. We're human beings. We're not designed for that. It's not.
Mhm.
We're not supposed to
But
not get sleep.
it's, you know, it's, I get what you mean, dude. But it's given me a sense of discipline I don't think I've had before.
Why don't you just join the fucking military then, like a cocksucker?
No, but then I can't see my son.
Well, I'm sure they'll let you. I don't know. Is there a war going on?
No, we just got out of Afghanistan, right?
You're old. They're not going to send you to war.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be
fucking base somewhere, and
I'd be crying as they're shaving my head and everything.
And they rape you. That's what happens in the military. You get raped.
Yeah, is that true? That's
true. There's a high. The two most likely places to get sexually assaulted is a school and in the military base.
What's the average scenario on the military base?
I don't know because they keep a lot of it quiet, but there's a lot of shenanigans and goings ons.
I want details.
Sure, we could go to JAG and get some records. Yeah, that was a show I never watched. They always made jokes about JAG. Old people like that show.
Yeah, I just laughed because I know it's a show. I never actually watched it.
I don't think anybody under 90 ever fucking watched it.
Yeah, it's like Murder, She Wrote status.
Dude, Murder, She Wrote's awesome. Fuck you. I watch Murder, She Wrote. I still watch Murder, She Wrote. It's awesome.
I never actually watched it.
It's actually really good. It's really funny. Yeah. Angela Lansbury is a treasure.
Dude, did Jodie Whittaker and the writer of Doctor Who fucking
gone? They're gone there. I don't think
it's already damage already done, right?
I believe that the BBC unceremoniously requested that they not do another season.
Yeah, you think
and it's not her fault.
They can recover?
Oh, with the right casting and the right writing, I think there's a strong possibility. There's been plenty of shit.
Wasn't one of the whole thing about, I think we talked about this already, but like, wasn't there something that recently or whatever season? Oh yeah, we did talk about it.
It was just, Jodie's a good actress. It just wasn't the role for her.
And what it comes down to is the writing.
The writing was bad
and what the fucking episodes were.
They were just not good.
And it was woke thing.
They got a little bit better as they went on, but not enough to save.
Yeah,
which is a shame. I'm a big fan. I mean, there's been plenty of shitty Doctor Who seasons, and there's nothing new. So you just cast someone new and fucking cross your fingers. You know what I mean?
You ever had a dream doctor?
Richard Iowati.
Hey, I was just about to say that too.
Would be my dream doctor.
Yeah, because that's pretty popular choice actually.
Yeah, he'll never do it. And as the master,
why wouldn't he?
As the master, Martin Freeman.
Wow, that would be good.
Those two playing off each other, and Martin Freeman could just be a total cocksucker to Iowati's like nervous doctor.
Yeah, like an anxiety or a doctor.
They would never do it. Both of them are too expensive to cast in a show like that.
Yeah. What is what's Dick doing now?
Richard does a bunch of different stuff. He has a show called Travel Man.
Oh, he still does that?
Oh, it's fucking great. I love Travel. He's on like
that's awesome.
And he does a bunch of other stuff. He's just, he's the kind of guy that can write his own ticket. He's a writer. He does directing. He does writing.
That's cool.
He did a movie called Submarines. It was pretty good.
It
was like a coming of age. It was pretty good. I mean, it's a little dry.
I heard it's a nice indie film.
He just can do whatever he wants to do at this point. Like, it isn't. I mean, I think IT Crowd made him a lot of money.
Yeah, dude, IT Crowd is one of the best shows ever.
Oh, that's a fantastic show. Matt Berry, father.
And then just the way he was running to the fucking casket is.
I like when he has a gun. Richard has a gun.
Oh God,
I've got a gun.
Yeah. Or what about the picture though?
Yeah. What's his name? Mike Bush. And they're friends. I love him on Travel Man was fantastic because he was talking about Richard getting drunk and how he just does Churchill impressions, and that's it. Okay, so we had to stop yesterday. So we were talking about video games. I'm going to leave this in because this was a good conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
We were talking about making your own game. You had mentioned you made one in 7th grade. I actually almost did make my own game. I had a comic that I used to write. My girlfriend would draw it, and me and my friend would write it. I say write it is that like I was the Matt Damon and he was Ben Affleck, who did all the work, and he worked on his character.
Nice.
And we'd write the script. It was called Tales from the Mayor's Vault. We did a couple of issues, and I learned RPG Maker 7, and I was going to make a game based on it. And,
nice. Was that a pretty popular program though that people used?
It's still a. I mean, I think they're on 10 or whatever now. It's still a pretty popular program to make independent role playing like JRPG games. And I learned how to use it. It's hard, but I never got any further than learning how to use it and some script ideas.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into top favorite video game. I have 5 honorable mentions, so mine's like a top 10 as usual. I can't make fucking decisions.
It's hard. It's hard. Why not just throw in the honorable mentions in there?
Do you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start with my first honorable mention.
First honorable mention.
Yeah, it easily could have made the top 5 list, but The Last of Us. I haven't had the pleasure of playing the second. The first one. I haven't played the second one.
I didn't like the second one. I couldn't get into it.
You know what, dude? I feel like I already know that I would like it. I already know that I would enjoy it. I kind of know myself and know my biases. So like, I probably like it.
Not a bad game. It's just it bored the sin out of me. The second one.
I did hear it's a little bit slower, right? So
slow is not the word. And nothing fucking happens in it.
Okay. Okay, got it.
And if you like the main character of the first one, you won't like him in the second one.
Okay, that's fine.
He's an evil white man. So
why'd you have to spoil that for me?
Well, he's not evil. That's just how they write him.
Okay, gotcha. For sure.
But the first one was great. Yeah, I give you credit.
Yeah, dude. Just the first fucking 20 minutes of that, the first 15 minutes of that.
Real intense. The relationship they had was realistic, for the scenario, and good game. I don't think we'll ever see a third. I don't think we're ever going to see a third
because of how the second one ends, or
just the reception and the toxicity in the video games. Big video game companies aren't doing well right now because turns out they're all a bunch of rapists.
Okay. Well, whatever the fuck that means. Okay, like literal rapists.
Literally, there's like the one company had a room at a hotel called the Cosby Room. I think it was Activision Blizzard.
That's awful.
I think it was Activision Blizzard, and they're just not doing well. So big video game companies are coming down, man. They're coming down brick by brick.
Boy, I so wonder what happens in the Cosby.
Why would you? Okay, of all the things to say, like the Cosby Room, like, come on, don't call it.
They just have the pudding in there.
That's a pretty good Cosby. That's not bad. Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck. No.
I mean, you just do all the jar of pudding. You just do. That's all you do. You don't have to Kodak film. You don't really have to do anything. Yeah. Drugging women's. Okay. Last of Us. Good choice. Excellent choice.
Yeah.
Mine are a little bit. My honorable mentions are no discernible order. I imagine yours aren't either.
No, nothing's ever in any order for me because it's already hard enough fucking choosing this stuff, I gotta put it in order.
Top 5 are in order, but the honorable mentions are not.
Well, I'm gonna say my top 5 will probably never be in any order because
you keep responsibility.
It gives me the extra responsibility of giving you a reason why this one was better than the other one, or so I don't want to do that.
Who would want you to think? Okay, so number 5, Doom 2, id Software, 1994. I played Wolfenstein and Doom 1, but this was a game that totally enthralled me with first-person shooters. It was so violent and angry. It had that metal music, they took real songs and just made their own version of it. And it was perfect. When they were making the game, they were listening to all these these metal bands, you know what I mean? And I have things like, what's the story? A big guy kills everything and then goes to hell and kills everything there.
Yep.
My favorite moment is the super shotgun, the double-barreled shotgun.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite too. That was always effective.
And it's the noise that each gun makes. Just I still hear them in my head. You know what I mean? Like that's what a gun should sound like. And I've shot real guns.
Dude, that was always a fun game.
Yeah.
I've always loved the Doom games. Even the new ones are really fun too.
Yeah, the newest Eternal, I couldn't get into it as much as I could.
I didn't play Eternal. I played the one before.
Yeah, it's just like there's too much going on where it's like
really chaotic.
Well, yeah, it's like you have to play it's a puzzle instead of a fighting game.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't want to have to solve these villains. I want to shoot them.
Were you a fan of Quake?
Oh fuck yeah, I love Quake. I just got the Quake remastered for free.
I bought it actually not too long ago. I think it was like it's $10 or something.
It's really good. Yeah, I had them all, and so if you had them all, they gave it to you for free. That's why I love Quake. Quake, another, and that was Trent Reznor did the music.
Yeah, that's how I was going to mention.
For the first one.
Yeah, the first one, but you would find the M boxes with the 9 Inch Nails logo.
Because it was for the nail gun, the 9 Inch Nail.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. Love that. Okay, that was a good choice. Next honorable mention.
They sucked.
No, I just really played that first one.
First one's the best one.
Yeah, I don't remember the rest of them too much. Okay, so another honorable mention for me, I will say the NFL Madden games actually.
John Madden just died too.
I know, yeah. Rest in peace, John Madden.
Homage to him. Tough acting, acting.
Yeah. But yeah, I would always play those games with my brother growing up.
They were another friend. I played them with different friends, and
they were fun.
I remember getting
a sense of football and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't really watch. I watch football if someone has it on. I'm not really a football guy. I played the one with Brock Lesnar in it. I remember that one. It was like 2000.
There was I don't even remember that.
He wasn't even on a team. He was like, it was Minnesota Vikings, I think it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those were fun games. I mean, I played what year? 2003 to like 2005, I think.
Yeah, that was the golden era. Before they got like.
For most of those EA Sports games.
Oh yeah, EA Sports was on it for a while. Now it's the same game over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were always fun games.
John Madden, I haven't seen him in years, so he was old as fuck. He was old as fuck in 2005.
Oh yeah, he absolutely was. I wasn't sure if he was still alive. I got all the news notifications on my phone.
Yeah, he died, and it was like, and there was a sketch comedy show, and I don't remember what it was, where he was talking about smoking crack, and I wanted to find it because it fit my gimmick. I couldn't fucking find it, and I don't know what show it was. If anybody out there knows what show John Madden was talking about smoking crack, I think it was Mad TV, but I can't find it.
That's pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was like.
I mean, that reminds me of Mayor Rob Ford.
Yeah, it was him doing like the thing where you write on the screen, you know what I mean, like they did in football plays. He goes over here and he smoked a little bit of that crack. Maybe
you know what? I think I remember that actually.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what the show was. I think it was Mad TV.
It may have been Mad. Yeah, it may have been Mad TV.
Sketch, but Lord knows.
It was a good one.
Next honorable mention for me is Chrono Trigger, Square, now Square Enix, 1995.
Never played it. I've always heard of it.
So it's a JRPG. I'm a big JRPG fan. You're gonna see a couple of JRPGs on this list. Okay. But the characters were designed by Akira Toriyama, who did Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. He wrote Dragon Ball. So you can tell when you look at the characters, I knew right away the first time I played this, I was like, this looks like Dragon Ball. And it's because
some of the art and everything.
I know his art.
Line work.
I know Akira Toriyama's work out of anywhere. If I see something, I'm like, that's him. And it was just this fun game that there was multiple endings and you could pick up multiple characters. It was one of the first games you could do like that wasn't Final Fantasy. Those were so heavy. Like I always had Final Fantasy 6 on this list because it's a great game, but I like Chrono Trigger because it was more light and fun, and it had a banger soundtrack, and you could replay it. And you could start at different parts in the game, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a game I come back to still to this day. I'll play through every couple of years.
It never hurts to have that replayability.
It's important.
For the game.
You can play a game once, and it's great. But if I never come back to it, then I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah. That's cool. No, I've always heard about that game, but I never actually
It's
played
an
it.
absolute. I mean, you know, it's a little dated, but I think once you get past the antiquated like control scheme, which I still love the old school controls, um,
Yeah,
no problem at all to get into.
I can't find myself really getting into new games.
You don't seem like a
much these
JRPG
days, so.
guy because those are that's
What's
an
the J? What's I don't know what the J is in JRPG.
Japanese RPG.
Okay.
So it's
Sorry.
the JRPG. Okay, so an RPG, Skyrim is an RPG. It's an action RPG. A
Yeah.
JRPG means turn-based role-playing game. Like
Oh.
you take a turn, you take a turn. You take a turn, you take a turn.
Oh, okay.
Like, you ever see it play like a Final Fantasy game where they
I thought it was exclusive to just it being from
No,
Japan.
no, JRPG just means that's the style that the Japanese
Gotcha.
made.
Okay. And that's my preference for RPGs too, then.
Really? Because
JRPG.
Once you start an RPG, that's $100. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, I don't have the time to get into a new one. I just have my memories of the ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know? So
I barely could start one. I have a number of them that I want to start, and I'm like, I'll never.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one we'll talk about that's on my list. So
good. Yeah. Okay. You have any more honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'm sure I do. The Tony Hawk games.
2 had the best soundtrack of like any game back then.
It was awesome, man. They all had great soundtracks. I think except
for the last one, which was unfinished, and they still released it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't even remember what it was.
I didn't play it. It was like 2017. It was like not that long ago.
I can remember it. Was it the one where it came with an actual board or something like that?
I don't know.
Tony Hawk Ride.
But they were fucking. Those were another game I played with friends all the time. Like they were.
Love that. I bought that remaster, so that's a new game.
Oh, yeah.
Technically new game. So
those are bangers.
Hell yeah.
I could play them today and still you could kill an hour and not even know you're killing.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I get lost in playing it. It's so fun. And then, but also, what was those other ones? Tony Hawk's Underground or Tony Hawk's Underground 2?
There was a couple Underground.
Thug. Yeah, there was those 2 of them. The second one was the really extreme one, where they had like the whole crazy story with Tony Hawk and Bam and everything.
Nobody cared about the story, but like you didn't.
No, it was just fun. It was just fun. You know, you kind of learn about these skaters and everything just through being a fan of the game, and you see this ridiculous fucking story happening in the second one.
Yeah, it was like nothing that would ever happen in any sort of conceivable reality.
No, absolutely not. There's
Tony Hawk's a cool
explosions
guy.
And
he's still cool.
He's making his rounds on a few podcasts right now that you should check out if you haven't. He's with Jason Ellis I think
he's like the nicest dude in the world. I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Tony Hawk. Like
yeah, he's awesome. He was on Tiger Belly, Bobby Lee's podcast.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, with like I just said his name and I can't remember. Yeah, Jason Ellis or Ryan Ellis. Jason Ellis.
I think it's funny that he gets all those stories. People are like, you like Tony Hawk? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a big deal. He's real, man.
Yeah,
those games are always fun. So
you're picking some good like friend level picks.
I think those are probably my favorite memories. I think some of my favorite memories of games where I would be with friends and just, we wouldn't even really be talking. We'd just be fucking killing time.
Yeah, I never had any friends. I we used to play. They hated playing like GoldenEye with me because I would just run the board on them, so that I was not allowed to play GoldenEye.
Would it motivate them to get better?
No, they just hated playing with me because I played Doom and Wolfenstein since I was a little kid, so that kind of game was natural for me. I was playing it before they even had a system that you could do a first-person shooter on. So as soon as I got a GoldenEye, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I remember the one time they're like, Sean, you can't play this anymore, and I'm like, oh, I want to.
You're banned.
I was banned from GoldenEye. So my next one is Oddworld: Abe's Exodus. Oddworld Inhabitants, 1998. A gem of a game. Just one of those great like PS2 games that just solidified that console.
1998. That's PlayStation 1.
Yeah. I said just PlayStation 2. I didn't mean PlayStation 2.
Okay, yeah, because they had a few games on both.
Yeah, the
right?
Slash.
Gotcha.
Just that puzzle game with a really great like anti-corporate, anti-capitalist message. And
I love making them fart.
Oh yeah, and you could possess the fart.
Yeah.
and take the fart around, and it would blow stuff up. Oh man! And this was the second game, not the first one, because the first one was good. The second one was where they got everything right.
I don't remember the game, each game specifically.
Yeah,
I just
you remember
I enjoyed.
They were
yeah. It was fun. It was trippy.
And after,
it was weird.
After this, they did like Munch's Odyssey and Stranger's Wrath, and they have a whole world that they want to do stuff on. That they said they were going to do like a quintology. What's that? 8?
That's 5.
5, yeah. 5. So, and they only did 3 of them.
Okay, so they still have to do 2 more then.
Well, then they rebooted the Oddworld games, and they released a game called Soulstorm, which was a remake of Abe's Exodus, and I fucking hated it. Came out last year. And it was like they added an inventory system, and the gameplay was too flowy. Like in that old game, every scene was a puzzle. And this was just like, it just felt like a generic ass game. I hated it. They did themselves a disservice.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I think my favorite stuff in that was the voice work, and like you said, the farting. Follow me. The guys would be like, no. Then you'd have to be like, it's okay, or you'd have to like slap them if they were upset, and fart on them and make them laugh. And
I used to use this soundboard on Newgrounds or E-Bombs World that had the Oddworld stuff.
I knew you were going to say E-Bombs World after you said Newgrounds. I could hear. I was like, it's going to be E-Bombs World or Newgrounds, because it's either going to be like, you're the man now, dog. E-Bombs World.
You're the man now, dog.
Or Newgrounds. I love Newgrounds, man.
Yeah,
you could play Kramer looking for hentai.
Dude, those games were fucking fucked up.
I played a Bill Cosby game on there where he was knocking people out and killing them and taking them to
really.
And they had Cosby like sound blips in it when he would do it.
God.
And, like,
and he would just do his sound effects and all that. That's hilarious. Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember all those Flash games.
They're gone now. Flash is gone. It's gone.
Really? Oh, I didn't even know that.
2021 or maybe 2020, Flash no longer exists.
Too bad. Shit.
What a shame, right? Like, how many memories did we lose?
Those were fun. I love those.
I don't think anybody's used Flash since Newgrounds.
Probably. Well, since you mentioned Oddworld, it actually reminded me of this other ridiculous game that I don't even know if you'll remember. You probably will. Booger Man.
Oh, dude, I have a Booger Man poster.
You do?
I have a Booger Man poster. It's a pick. Remember what the title of the game was? Booger Man, a pick and flick adventure.
Yep.
Oh, I love Booger Man. I beat Booger Man on the Genesis all the time as a little kid. Like, I would come. It's a hard fucking game.
I don't even remember beating it really. I just remember playing it all the time.
You would spit loogies and then you fart at the dudes.
I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever, dude. It was fucking fun and awesome. Love that shit.
There's a franchise there. There's a franchise there.
They should remake that.
Yeah.
Or just do something with that character.
I think they tried to kickstart a new Booger Man and no one wanted it. I would have.
Why would nobody want that? Damn.
I don't know. I love.
That makes me sad.
Yeah,
that makes me sad. I love that.
I have enough that I have a Booger Man poster. That's how much.
That's hilarious if you have a Booger Man poster.
I won it in some raffle, and I never thanked the guy for it. Like, he sent me the stuff, and I was like, dude, I'll send you, like, I'll put a thank you on my Instagram. I never did it, and then he unfollowed me, and I think he blocked me. I feel terrible. I never did it because I don't remember who it was. I just got busy and like I forgot.
Happens.
That's why whenever I get stuff now, because I've won a number of things, like I just won that one chick's The Artist. I put that up not too long ago. And,
that was
I
awesome.
put it up the day I get it because now I want to be appreciative of and her shit's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Good job winning that.
Her name is, so.
Well, I helped you rig that shit. So.
Well, everything's rigged. I should win. How many stickers have I won and stuff like that? It's all rigged. Something about the name pops up early. I don't know. Something about my name. So, is that your next choice, Booger Man?
Yeah, that's my
That's a good one.
Mention.
Oh man.
Yeah.
My next one too, and this one almost made the list. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, that's a good one. The best one.
Invented the Metroidvania genre, essentially. An amazing game. I come back to it all the time. There's a new randomizer mod for it where it randomizes everything in the game. and so I come back to it and play it like that. The guy who made it, Igarashi, did a new game called Bloodstained, which I kickstarted, and it's just like Castlevania. They just can't use any of the characters.
I feel like I may have heard about that game.
It's good. It's really good.
Nice.
I loved Castlevania as a kid. I was a big we thought this for Hammer horror fan, and that's what they based a lot of their stuff on, was the Hammer horror versions of stuff, because it was popular in Japan. And yeah, it's a shame Konami doesn't care about their IPs, because they just don't. They don't make Silent Hill stuff. They don't make Metal Gear stuff. They don't make Castlevania stuff. It's a waste.
That's too bad.
And I think this is probably the best Castlevania game. People will argue like Super Castlevania 4 maybe is better if you like the classic style, but I like the Metroidvania stuff.
That's the Symphony of the Night style is what I know for Castlevania mostly. Yeah, so
they all started being like that afterwards, you know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of games.
They were fun. Those were really great.
Oh, and there's plenty of games like that. There's Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Forest and all those kind of games that are like that. I think my favorite things from it was Dracula talking about man. What makes a man? A miserable pile of secrets? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just terrible. The one bad guy in its name is Shaft. Yeah, Shaft. And he's not like a black private dick. He's a sex machine for all the chicks. He's just
That's disappointing. I was hoping it would be.
I mean, when you hear the name Shaft, you think that cat is one bad mother. But
that's the only Shaft I know.
John Shaft. You're damn right. I have the Shaft record, the soundtrack from the movie.
Hell yeah. Nice.
It's by Isaac Hayes did it, I think.
Oh shit, then you can't go wrong with that. Who doesn't love Chef?
So that's my into the Shaft realm right away.
That's awesome. Oh yeah.
You have any more for?
Yeah, I guess last honorable mention. The GTA games, not any specific one, but from Vice City,
GTA,
San Andreas.
Man. We grew up murdering hookers and disemboweling people, and GTA. I think Vice City was the one that really got me into it, because I was a big Scarface fan when I was like a kid. Because
that was all straight up Scarface.
I grew up with a lot of black kids, and they just really like Scarface. That's what it was, and that was like that, and so
well, you had also like a really cool cast of voice actors too. Ray Liotta. You had
nobody has ever said Ray Liotta is cool ever in the history of mankind.
Well, I recall when I was playing Vice City, I was like into all those mob movies, and so I love Goodfellas. So seeing
Luis Guzman is cool.
Yeah,
Luis Guzman is cool.
There's a few other people in that I don't remember their names. But.
I knew like that was probably my favorite one, and then 5. I have 5. I don't know if I've played it in years, and that they won't release a new one.
Still a great game. Yeah, still an awesome.
Well, they make billions of dollars off the online shop, so why make a new? Why bother? Why bother?
Yeah, it won't be a long time until they make a new one of that.
Yeah. There's no point. They'll make more Red Dead Redemptions, which I didn't like any of those.
I have the second one. I just haven't played it enough.
It's so for me, it's so boring. It's so everything is everything takes so long. Like I call the animations luxurious. I think Jim Starlin said that, and I stole it from him.
I think that's accurate.
Oh, you have to.
I get what you mean when you say that.
Thing and load your gun. I'm like, I don't want to I want to shoot something and then go pick it up with a button. I don't want to have to skin it. I can go skin my own deer if I really want to shoot a deer and skin it. So my last one's a little bit of a bullshit for the honorable mention. Team Fortress 2 from Valve, 2007. Probably the game I have the most hours, and I think I have 3,000 or 4,000 hours in Team Fortress 2.
Oh wow!
I played it. I played competitively. I've played I still play it occasionally, like 2:00 in the morning. I main Pyro, which makes people so mad because I've been maining Pyro since 2007. So I'm really good with the Pyro, and you're not supposed to be really good with the Pyro because Pyro's supposed to suck.
So when you are good with Pyro, it's very effective.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's really hard. It's really easy to play Pyro, but it's really hard to get really good at a Pyro.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anybody can pick it up and play it though, but it's free to play now. The fan base is so toxic. There's so many memes that came from Team Fortress 2 from the community. It's unreal, just the level of bullshit. And I love it because I've been a part of it. But I a number of times, because I'm not that I'm so good, but I know I've gotten banned from servers because I was so good. I was playing with a friend of mine one time, and we were recording what we were doing. And I was, what I do is I go to really like one-shot servers where everything kills you in one shot, and I play those so I can get better at the game. And then I'll go to a regular server, and because I'm playing at such a high tension level in my head, there's one time I was playing with a guy and I was I killed him and they banned me. He was like, I knew you were cheating. No one shoots like that. And I'm like, dude, I got fucking proof.
I'm not fucking cheating.
Yeah, this happened to me like 3 or 4 different times. So it's just, I love that game. I still play it. It's
nice. I never actually played it, so no, I've heard good things.
Don't. I actually, a friend of mine started playing it, and he joined a server I was in. I was like, I don't want to play with you. If you're on the other team, I'm going to come after you specifically. And he was like, oh, so I killed him like 11 times in a row, and then he quit and never played again.
Oh wow!
I said, I don't want to play with you. I don't know. I just don't want to play with people. I used to play with a guy that I know. Like, we played all the time together, and I was like, don't get on my team, because I'm going to look for you, because I know how you play, as I know you, so I know where you're going to be. So you're going to be the first motherfucker that I look for to kill.
It's going to be that easy.
Yeah, because if you play with someone, you know their style, you know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I've never been able to pay attention that much to someone's style.
I play very,
unless they're just prone the whole time.
I play very like, I'm a pyro. I find a place and I hide, and then I kill people, and then I find someone else to hide, and then I play Team Fortress without the team part.
You play Fortress.
Yeah, I play Fortress. It started as a Quake mod, so.
Nice. Awesome.
So into the actual list, our top 5s. Go on ahead.
Sure. Okay, first on mine will be Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy. Yeah. What a fucking edgelord you are.
Why?
Oh, Sephiroth and all his mommy issues. And Final Fantasy VII, I still like Final Fantasy VII. I played it like 2 or 3 years ago. Did you play the remake?
I have it. I just haven't had the time to play.
I don't think I'd like it.
Really? I enjoy what I played so far.
I just don't. It's not. I don't know. I didn't love 15, and it's the same kind of gameplay. But
I don't know, dude. Everything in that, I love the music in it, and I love the
beautiful.
For me, I don't know. It helped me appreciate all the little boring things that are going on. That I kind of got connected with. I don't know. I found myself, caring a lot about all the characters and the towns that you would be going into, talking to all the townspeople and all that stuff. But I don't know. It really got me into it.
The storytelling was really well done in that, and it got confusing by the end, because I don't know what the fuck actually happens in that game. But and like you said, all the characters. Remember when everybody said there was a code to stop Ares from dying? In like high school, people used to be like, I don't. It's a way you can save her, and like you can't. But
no, that was part of the whole thing,
which was heartbreaking. When he comes down and stabs her, and then she's just dead.
Dude, that fucking killed you when that happened.
And people were like, I really liked her in Cloud. And I was like, I like mean brunettes. So Tifa was always my go-to. I liked her a lot better.
I love them both. They're great.
Give me an angry brunette over a sad redhead any day. Because Tifa was out there throwing kicks, and she's wearing a skirt. She's throwing kicks and punches. She don't give them a shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who did you main? What was your team?
My main was I believe Cloud, Barrett, and while she was alive, Eris for the healing.
Yeah. I think that
just use Cloud for the Cloud and Barrett for like the power, and Tifa for the healing. Didn't rely on magic too much. But
really, because the materia system was awesome, man. When you get like,
I did do that with all the summons and all that. Yeah. When I first played it, I didn't know how to fucking do all that stuff, because I think I was.
It's a pretty complicated system for a kid to like wrap
your
head around.
Yeah, when I picked it up, I was 7 when it came out, but when I picked it up, I think I was like 10 or 11.
And even then, like there's a lot going on how
yeah,
to play it.
Yeah.
And the thing I didn't like was when you do the summons, you couldn't fucking skip it.
I ate that shit out, dude.
And so every time. Well, but I would get a thing called summon X3 or X4 to beat like the high level boss. So I'd put it on Knights of the Nine, which is like a 4-minute summons.
Yeah, dude.
I have to fucking sit through 12 minutes of this one. I'm like, can we be done?
Just such overkill. I love that song.
Well, you could kill Sephiroth. By the time you killed the Omega machines and like Ruby machine, you could kill Sephiroth in like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, super easy.
Like if you did all the extra stuff, you were so overpowered in that game. It was
kill him with one slash.
Yeah, you would do like your hyper slash and like if you got your ultimate weapons and stuff like that, which I did. I'm not gonna not do it.
Yeah, of course.
Good choice. Definitely excellent choice.
I figure it's kind of I feel like my list is gonna be pretty obvious. I mean, well,
that's a goth choice right there. Final Fantasy VII. That is a classic
there we go.
Goth choice. Any goth girl around our age will say the same thing, like Final Fantasy VII, and you know it because they all thought Sephiroth was hot.
Everyone thinks Sephiroth and Cloud is hot.
Okay,
but the music too. You gotta admit, the music was fucking
beautiful,
beyond incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big. I'm still a big fan. I hated 8, but I liked 9.
I liked 9 a lot, and 10 is really good too.
I couldn't get into 10 and 10 too as much, but that's
I have the remaster, and I would like to start playing more of.
It's a good game to get into. I mean, once you invest your time in it, there's a lot. Any of them, like I said, 6 is my favorite Final Fantasy still to this day. Because you literally kill God in it.
Nice. I never played it.
It's hard to go back to. It's that little tiny pixels. And
okay. Still, as long as it's good.
It's good. It's the best. I think it's still. And 15, I never finished. I have it.
I didn't play past like 10. I think
I'm like 30 hours in it, but I don't know what's going on, so I know what's happening. You have to drive everywhere, which takes so fucking long. It's like a minute. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking get me to the place. Okay, so number 5 for me, an obvious one: Hotline Miami 2, wrong number.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital 2012 and 2015. I put them. They're one game. It's one story. One continuous story. I love these games, inspired by David Lynch and like Drive and like Half-Life. I mean, and they admit it. They say it's inspired by that. You can tell the surrealistic nature of Hotline.
I never had the pleasure of playing it, but I've always heard about it.
It's the first one is fucked up. The second one's fucked up. They're violent and sadistic, and it's like if you took Drive and if David Lynch had directed Drive with more violence.
Nice. And
Drive exactly what it is. Violent. Yeah, it's kinetic. The music is incredible. I think I took down all of my music ones when I did it, but all the music is just this incredible like synth wave, 80s.
It's probably because you went over a minute.
Yeah. It's got a lot of replayability. I played it all the time. I've S-ranked everything in both games.
Nice.
And especially on hard mode. There's a workshop on Steam, so I can download endless levels that people make and just play them over and over and over.
Awesome.
Which is really cool. One of my favorite things is like when you beat a level, the music goes from this like kinetic 80s pop to this like real sad music, and you have to walk through the whole level backwards, like you just went through all the dead bodies that you have to see that you caused, and like you have to live with your deeds. Yeah. And there's just great lines like, do you like hurting other people? Or, I was born with thick skin, and it's just good shit. Like it's a level of ridiculous that you don't get.
There's a couple of games that do stuff like that, where they kind of play those mind games with you to make you face your actions.
I love it. Yeah. You want to have a sense of morality with your hyper violent.
Absolutely. You won't get that in GTA ever.
No, you can kill all the hookers you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a cool choice.
I'd recommend it. You could also, each level is like a minute long. It's like 2 minutes long. It's like you can go into it and just kill 5 minutes and get through a level or two.
Nice. Next choice for me will be the it's hard for me to pick one particular one, but the Mortal Kombat series.
Mortal Kombat.
Main one I think would probably be. It's a surprising choice.
3?
No, dude, it's a surprising choice for me, but I would say the one that came out for PlayStation 3, I think it was. It was just called Mortal Kombat, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
They've done that several times where they just call it Mortal Kombat, and I get confused as to which one is which.
It was cool. I mean, I was playing with a lot of my friends and everything, so it was always fun. And I played with for hours on end.
That's the one where Shao Kahn was bullshit in at the end.
Oh, you could. He was fucking has to be
shit.
Oh
it was
my
bullshit,
god,
dude. I remember playing. I played. Okay, so up until that point, I hadn't played one for years, but it's the same fucking game. So I was playing it at some guy's house, and I got to Shao Kahn. I'm like, this is easy. And then he's like creaming me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have the game on hard. I beat the game through hard up to Shao Kahn, and then I'm like, this is bullshit. Like,
yeah, made him damn near impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That was, I think if that's the one I'm thinking of that I played, that was a good one.
Yeah, but all of those games, though, I love all of them.
They get a little bit up their own ass, like when Liu Kang was a zombie and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck are you
doing? So those were, silly.
They got confusing.
Yeah.
After 3, when it stopped being Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn and was like Shinnok and and Quan Chi and stuff like that, I was like, I'm a little checked out on this story.
I enjoyed those too. I like playing those a lot.
They were okay, but like it was no longer like, I didn't feel like the villains were compelling, and then it was a dragon guy. I'm like, what?
Yeah, those were
talking about.
We didn't like those ones.
But a good choice. We talk about Mortal Kombat a lot on this.
Hell yeah, Mortal Kombat's
good. Mortal Kombat's good. I have a Mortal Kombat review coming out this month in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're doing your video game review, so you just released
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
No Lou Albano here, folks. It's fucking Bob Hoskins. It's terrible. I give it a scathing review.
I fucking love that movie so much.
Terrible fucking movie.
No, you're a terrible movie.
Yeah, it would be. My life would be a terrible movie. Bob Hoskins would play me. I think he's dead.
It's sad. He did pass away. Yeah.
So number 4, I'm not going to say the title just yet. So I was a huge fan of LucasArts point and click games, and I was going through this. I'm like, what's my favorite one? And then I thought, well, I have a Day of the Tentacle tattoo on me, so it's probably Day of the Tentacle. So Day of the Tentacle.
I don't even know what that is.
LucasArts 1993. It was the sequel to Maniac Mansion. But I played Monkey Island, Sam & Max Hit the Road, the Indiana Jones games, Day of the Tentacle, and I'm thinking, which one of these is my favorite? I got the one that I have a tattoo of. Probably is my favorite. It's about a tentacle. These tentacles, and one of them drinks some poison water, and he grows arms, and then he takes over. He decides he's gonna take over the world.
Interesting.
Like, I'm done with this shit. I'm taking over the world. And he goes through time. So you have to travel to 3 different periods of time. There's like 1776 and the future where tentacles rule in modern day. And like, you have to do all these cool things, like give George Washington chattering teeth from the future. So it looks like he's cold. So they burn something so you can steal something else. It's just like this, you change the flag because you gave what's her name the wrong things. You can, it's great point and click game. I used to play with my sister when we were like 4 and 5, and we couldn't figure it out because some of the things we ended up beating it together, but it was just like, it's so much funny. I can probably get through it now in like an hour because I remember all the puzzles, but it took me months, back in the day. I actually have a big box version of the Tentacle still, the original box version from 1993. With the floppy disks. Yeah, good shit.
With the floppy disks. Wow.
Floppy disks. I think it was 6 floppy disks or something. And there's a CD one that I have somewhere too, but I don't use either, but it's just cool to have.
Nice. That's cool. So that was your number 4. My
number 4.
My number 3 will be Super Mario 64.
Oh, a good one. One that
was
someone just released before you get into it, someone just released a standalone non-emulated version of it. You can just play as an EXE on your computer.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. I found it through means that I'm not going to talk about here, but it's great.
I love that, dude.
Updated.
That's
yeah.
It's a pure nostalgia choice for me.
And it's kind of a scary game too, a little bit.
Dude, the fucking water.
Oh, the water. The upside down water
scary.
level too, and it's like a coast in Spain or something like that they use
wherever the shipwreck is. The ship, there's that giant fucking eel, dude. That giant eel was terrifying to me.
There's a sense of loneliness to it as well. Like there's this big castle, there's nothing in it.
I'm glad you noticed that. that. That's even the levels, and with some of the music.
I think it's
weird somber tone to it.
Yeah, the music's a little dark. It's everything about the game has like almost a nightmare quality to it.
Well, yeah, it's Mario entering into a third dimension.
Yeah, yes, so it's like Super Mario World, but if it was a nightmare version of that.
Yeah, dude.
Great fucking game though. I mean,
and plus, if I needed like an uplift, dude, that game is good for that too.
Yeah,
that's a fucking happy game also.
And it's also the first time I think we heard Mario.
Is it
me, Mario?
I think I
think it was the first game that he spoke to us.
The first game, maybe.
Yeah. No, well, there was cartoons. Like, I mean, game wise.
Yeah. So
there was the Super Mario 3 cartoon, and Captain Lou Albano had been Super Mario live action, and they had some cartoons there. But the first time we heard him in game, it's me, Mario.
Do you remember when you would choose which mission or which star you're going to be going for in the level? What he would say when you would select the star?
No, not off the top of my head.
Well, I think it was lots to go or let's go.
Let's go, yeah.
I always fucking thought as a kid, because if you listen to it, it sounds like him saying some random person saying hot pickle.
Hot pickle?
Hot pickle.
Hot pickle.
That's what I always heard as a kid. Not there. No, that's the thing. It's a weird. It's like that weird. Laurel and
Hardy.
No, not Laurel and Hardy. There was a stupid thing where people would hear different things. They would hear an audio clip, and they would hear one name, and some people would hear another name. I don't know what I'm getting.
It's like the what color are these? Is this dress thing? Yeah.
It was a super strange.
Hot pickle. There was never any hot pickle
hot
pickups, and there should be now in the next game. There should be like a hot pickle. He turns into a pickle, like Rick Sanchez.
Yeah, it should.
Nintendo being very topical with this one.
But that's my number 3.
Good one. Good choice. My number 3 is another game you've never played before. Lisa the Painful RPG by Ding-a-Ling Productions, December 2014. First of all, I want to say this guy was made by, the song was...
What the fuck did you just say? What the fuck did you just say?
Which part?
Say that again.
Lisa the Painful RPG, made by Ding-a-Ling Productions, December 2014.
Okay.
I'm getting into Ding. So Ding-a-Ling is one guy. One guy made the game, did all of the songs, did all of the art, and coded it himself.
Oh, wow. Nice.
His name was Austin Jorgensen, and he did. The soundtrack is fucking awesome. It's like 40 songs. It's bang after bang after bang after bang. He nailed it.
How long did it take him to make it?
His music name is Ding-a-Ling.
Nice.
And you can meet him in the game, and then he commits suicide.
Jesus.
It's a really fucking dark game. It's like El Topo meets Children of Men. Like it's violent and angry, and deals with drug addiction and depression and despair and alcoholism, lots of family and sexual assault on adults and children. But it's not just endless bleakness. There's like heart, and it's funny, and it's silly, and it's witty. It's got endless like pro wrestling jokes. You can become a pro wrestler in it.
Nice.
And you can win tag belts at the main title. There's like Power Rangers you can deal with. There's fish people that hate you. There's so much going on in it, and it's such a deep game that you can get lost in just the madness of what's going on. It's another JRPG, and it's got this cast, and there's like 12 or 14 characters you can pick up, like to be with your main character in it. And they can get permanent deaths too, because there's one part where you're forced to play Russian roulette.
Oh shit!
Like people kidnap you and you have to pick a character, and if that character dies, they're dead. That's it.
Does it affect the story at all, or
no? But you can. It affects that character story. You can't get their special stuff, and you can't do anything with them. They're just dead. They're just gone. And
it sounds really cool though.
It's really intense, man. There's some scenes in it that'll literally just like choke you up because it's such a and there's scenes where he keeps seeing his dead sister who committed suicide because her dad raped her, and like just all this fucked up stuff in it.
Jesus
Great game,
Christ.
really dark. Like you ever hear of Undertale?
Fun game. No.
Well, for people who know what Undertale is, this is like the dark version of Undertale. It came out before it too, so it's even better.
Okay, I'll check both those out.
Yeah.
If I want to.
Undertale is a very sweet little game that deals with some heavy moral stuff, but it's a very sweet and fairly light game.
Nice, awesome. Well, yeah, you were definitely right. I never heard of that game.
Yeah, it's a fucked up game. Yeah, it's a good shit.
Well, shout out to Dingling.
Dingling.
All right. Well, my number 2 will be Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah, it's one of the ones I got the remaster of, and one of the only games I play now, because if I do have the time to play, it's not often.
Is there there's still servers up for that?
Yeah, there's still servers up for that.
A lot of people
still play that. Yeah, a lot of people still play. I think probably a lot of people like me just looking for that nostalgia.
And also, like, it's a time they're comfortable with it, and people like they'll get into something, and
that's why I play it. The comfort.
The same thing with Team Fortress. That's why I play it, because I know I know what I'm getting into.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, it was fun. When I would play the campaign when it first came out back in the day, that was a lot of fun too. Pretty cinematic. But the multiplayer for sure is the main reason I play it though. Because if I need to, quickly kill like 20 minutes, or like, I have a little bit of time to play, I can do a quick team deathmatch.
And the thing about that game is the loading times in it are so minimal that you can just pop it in and go.
There
you go.
Yep.
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
That would be a good one to play.
I just never could. I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know.
You know what though? In a way, you have a lot of.
I've played games like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the idea. I'm not really big into like war simulators.
Yeah, to me, it's all the same, so that's why I just go back to what I know.
Yeah, well, that's a good choice. I mean, that's a classic. I feel like that's the classic one I hear people talk about the most.
I think there's other games I would have probably preferred to have on this aside from that, but I'm trying to keep it honest, and it's what I play mostly now. So it's gotta be my top.
Yeah, we're not here to bullshit. Here to pander to some fucking nerds out there listening.
My list is so much cooler than yours, man.
Number 2 for me is one that it should be surprised to absolutely no one, and probably the most obvious game on my list: Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian.
Yeah, I was just wondering when I was going to hear
it. I grew up with Fallout. Fallout 2 was the game I put so many hours in. And then when Bethesda bought the rights to it, and I was a big fan of Bethesda too. Morrowind and Oblivion were games I both loved. So when Fallout 3 came out, I liked it. It was different at first. It was interesting, but then like something was lacking. It lacked that Fallout feel. And then New Vegas came out, and it was done by the guys who had done the original games. And I hated it at first. I was like, I don't get this game. And then it clicked for me. And you can do so much in this game. It's one of the few games, and I say this, the Disco Elysium is probably the game that choices matter the most in. And I'm not going to get into that game right now, but this game feels like everything you do matters. Your choices actually matter. The things you do and the things you decide on actually matter in the game. It's not a game where you're being handheld. You're the character deciding things, and what you do and the people you pick and what you're doing and the things that you say make a difference, and your stats make a difference in that stuff. If you decide to be a character, and everything's affected by how you play the game. If you have high skills in one thing, you won't be able to do this thing, but you'll be able to do this. You know what I mean? You won't necessarily be able to have this conversation, but you can have this conversation. It matters how you're playing. Your build matters, and that's hard.
I thought I heard a lot of. I never really go with reviews too much, but I remember hearing a lot of negative reviews about New Vegas, though, right?
No,
a lot of people don't like.
You're lying.
You sure?
It still has like a 90 on Metacritic.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I think it was that Fallout 76.
Yeah, that's not the same thing. Yeah, 76 sucks.
Yeah, no, that's what I was confusing with.
That's no. There's no. You're not going to hear one bad word about New Vegas from many people.
I've only played Fallout 3, and what got me to play it was the VAT system.
So it's the same engine and the same assets because they only gave them 18 months to make the game. Bethesda, they're like, here they give us a game. So it looks the same as 3, but it plays totally different.
Okay.
Nice. The story is, I just want to get the story up. A postman with a brain injury decides the fate of the world.
Wow.
And some of my favorite moments of it are Ron Perlman does the narration. And the very first line you hear at the end of the game is, and so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again. And the Mojave wasteland was changed forever. I'm just like, that's a great like ending. That's the first thing you hear at the end of the game. And if you get the one ending with the girl Cass, it says Cass lived to see the courier bring down 3 armies. And by her account, there was 3 more than she'd expected. I love that every time. That's the ending I pick most of the time, when you just take control of everything and fuck everybody up.
Nice. Oh yeah. I gotta pick that one up again too.
Also, Joshua Graham is in the game, and he's one of the greatest characters in video game history.
I don't know. I'll have to find out someday.
We'll appreciate it then. I said this, trust me.
All right, so my number one. The Metal Gear Solid series, particularly the second one, perhaps.
I would pick 3 personally because it's the original Big Boss story, but 2 is also very, very good. There's no wrong answers.
2, I recall, just fucking really driving me for a loop because I was really young when I played it, so I think I was like,
well, 2's the one.
What year did that come out? It was like 2001, right? 2002 or something like that?
Yeah. 2's the one where you play as Raiden most of the game.
Yeah.
He's naked and
yeah, he's just doing the cartwheels.
Does the cartwheels, but he's holding his dick the whole time.
That's great. That's hilarious.
2 was a way different game, and it's about like, and the games are like, it's got a lot of depth. It's about the nature of control of a mass of people.
Yeah,
there's just this depth of
that, dude. The last Kodak call I remember with the Colonel is a fucking mind fuck, dude.
Well, that's considered one of the greatest moments in video game history. That right there, that like where you realize he's an AI and none of this.
Oh yeah,
and you are a joke.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like it's all fucking being controlled. But
Kojima's a genius.
I love all those games.
Yeah,
especially third one as well.
The third one where he's your big boss in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just one of my favorite things in 3 is when if you don't kill anybody or if you kill people, there's a scene where the one guy shows you all the people that you killed or didn't.
That's what I was thinking of when we were talking about that other game that was on your honorable mention. I forgot what it was, dude. You're talking about that. Where they make you face your moral decisions. And
when the boss dies and you have that in the field,
you have to nothing will happen until you pull that trigger.
And they make her into a traitor, but you knew she wasn't a traitor, and so you just get sick of everything. Oh, I just love it.
Yeah, such a downer ending, but such a
great.
At least the audience, people playing the game know how much.
Every single one of those. Right? Every single one of those. I would love to see more. We're never going to see more. It's done.
That's fine.
Kojima isn't able to do it. They fucking fired him.
That's too bad.
That's why
they fire him for.
Because he's Kojima, and they thought 5 was taking too long, and he wasted a bunch of money. And he's like, this is my project. Like,
yeah, he knows what he's doing.
5 is not finished. It's never finished. There's like 2 or 3 missions that never got finished.
Jesus.
And then he went and made his own thing and did Death Stranding, and it did really well. So good for him.
I want to play Death Stranding really bad. I've heard
really good, but it's really
mixed
hard.
Things. But
it's really hard to get into.
I would have to have time.
Yeah, it's a time sucker, but it's got a lot of talent in it. Guillermo del Toro's in it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What's his name?
Norman Reedus.
Who? Martin. Yeah, Norman Reedus. I couldn't think of Norman Reedus' fucking name.
It's just one of those names. You just forget it sometimes.
So number one for me, good choice, great choice.
Thank you.
Didn't expect that from a guy like you.
Yeah.
Number one for me is what might be the second most obvious game on this list, Earthbound or Mother 2. HAL Laboratories, 1995, sequel to a game America never got, Mother 1. So in here it was called Earthbound. It's a JRPG once again, but this made me fall in love with storytelling, like you were talking about earlier. It's cute and simple and fun, and the story range from heartwarming to heartbreaking. Characters are interesting in their own way. The music is great. You'll hear the music. If you've never heard Earthbound, you've heard the music in something, because people on YouTube use it all the time.
Okay.
And you'll be like, wait a second, I hear it on videos all the time, because it's such a classic soundtrack.
Yes.
Might be one of the best soundtracks in history. Certainly the most famous, I think, in video game history. The gameplay is simple to play, hard to master. It's got this just incredible system that's just a little bit different than every other JRPG. There's no random encounters. You see the people, and you can walk up to them, or they walk up to them. Yeah, or sometimes you don't have a choice because they'll run up to you.
Okay. And you can't avoid them.
Sometimes you can. The characters are different. You'll fight like new age retro hippies, or KKK members, or evil ghosts, or zombies. It's not like your standard bad guys. You're fighting this weird stuff. A tricycle will try to attack you, or just like it's got this sense of whimsy. And there's 3 games. There's Mother 1, 2, and 3. Now 3 is also another great game, and I didn't put it on here just because I think 2 is a little bit better. But Nintendo won't localize it, so people on Starman.net localized it and released it for free. Nice. The patch. So the first game is about family, the importance of family. The second game, this one, is about the love of your friends and how that's important. And the third game is about losing both of them. And it's essentially a story of children travel an interesting world on a trek to erase pencils, stop a fat kid, and abort a child.
The fuck!
It's a
you got some interesting games, man.
It's a beautiful game. There's a scene in it, and I say this, where you put your name in, like not the character's name. You do the character's name at the beginning. Halfway through the game, you put your name in. They ask you to sign the book as the real person playing. And you don't think about it until the very end of the game, where you have to use this pray function, and the character starts praying, and you see all the people that you met throughout the game come and pray for your character one by one by one, and then it reveals your name praying for them too. And the first time I read that, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You don't remember you put it in there. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And it just gives you this great sense of community, and they're great, heartfelt. It's just a game that it has everything.
That's fucking awesome. I never heard of it. I never played or heard of that game.
Well, it wasn't super popular when it came out, and then it got more popular as the years went on. It's definitely, it's one of those.
What year did they come out?
95.
Okay.
And there's stuff like, you get calls from your dad telling you to make sure you go home sometimes, and sometimes you get homesick for your mom, so you have to call her and make sure you're okay, and just these because you're little kids, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And your weapons are baseball bats and yo-yos and frying pans, and because you're a little kid.
Yeah, you can have like a whole arsenal of weapons you can use.
You can have pizza delivered to you, and you can get sick, and you can go to a hospital and feel bad. Like, it's just it's such done in such a sweet way, but there's such this undercurrent of weirdness going on in it that it's hard to get your head around sometimes.
Yes.
So
that's your number one.
That is my definitely one. That was a good list. I had a good list.
Yeah. You got the weird shit. I got the shit that everybody else.
I think that fits me. That fits our personalities. I mean, outside of New Vegas, which I think everybody was going to know that was going to be on there because I post New Vegas stuff like every day.
Yeah. And you've mentioned it a few times, I think.
Yeah. So let's talk about what games do you wish more people knew about that aren't on your list? Just like,
well, I'm glad you asked me, because there's one that I wanted to mention in my honorable mentions. Fucking Bushido Blade.
Blade. Okay. Yeah.
That was a really interesting, unique take on a fighting game and
Yeah.
it's weapons, but
I have
once you fucking get them, you get they're dead. Yeah. Once you slice them,
they started using stuff like that, but not quite to that degree. You're right, because once you got it, that was it. That was a game changer.
Yeah. So that's one game that I wish more people knew about because it's just super unique.
I haven't thought about that in years. Like that's a good game.
It's a random one I thought about. But that's one game for sure I wish more people knew about. What about you?
So I think of games like, I'm going to do a couple of different ones. Like for like an older school PS1 game, The Unholy War is a game which we'll know about. It was a 3D fighting game that also had a strategy aspect to it. You could like set up your army, and they had an opposing army, and it was like robots versus mutants, and you would go across, and then when you get to the character, you'd fight in an arena. It was a really cool game. No one talks about it. It was a cool premise. I've never seen a game like that since then. That was a strategy fighting game like that.
There was a lot of really unique games that I've never seen again like that. Like there was this one
they just
game
didn't do well, and then it just was like.
You ever remember this one game for PS1 called Intelligent Cube? Oh
yeah, Intelligent. They re-released Intelligent Cube not too long ago.
Really? See, they're re-releasing all these games.
It is on Steam.
Okay, nice.
They're
re-releasing all these games that I fucking used to love as a kid.
Let me double check it real quick.
That was a fun one. And then, what else was a unique one like that?
There was
Twisted Metal. Those Twisted Metal games were unique. The whole car combat thing.
I liked Black. Remember Black? Twisted Metal Black?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It was the darkest game ever.
And
the opening song was Painted Black. But
it was the only licensed song in the game.
And it was a great. I was like, that game fucked me up.
It was a messed up game.
But I'm also a big fan of like retro shooters that are new. Like they look like retro shooters, like Dusk and the Unholy War, or Medieval, are amazing games. If you like Quake or Doom, those games.
Medieval was awesome. I played Medieval when it first came out.
No. Medieval.
Oh shit! My bad. I'm sorry.
It's a really close title. It's like Quake.
Well, it's not a shooter, so I wasn't thinking.
Yeah. It's like it's Medieval. They just re-released that not too long ago, 5 or 6
years
ago.
They did. I think
it was good. I like
more
that
recent than
that guy. Was it more recent than that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Those were fun ones.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some Nuclear Throne is a game I play all the time. Very fun game. The Messenger.
I was always a big fan of Bullet Time, so the Max Payne games.
Max Payne was good. Max Payne 2, I think, was probably the best one.
It was really good. Max Payne 2 was probably one of the best ones. I loved the.
Was that a Max Payne movie?
With Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
I think I saw it, and I don't remember anything about it.
It's all, yeah. Let's not talk about it.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, huh?
Oh yeah, Marky Mark. You ever see him in the movie The Basketball Diaries?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, dude. That's
I don't like Marky Mark.
I only like him in like a couple of things, but he's not someone that I really care about.
I don't. Does he still get work? I don't see him in anything.
Yeah, he has
a show or something, doesn't he? Where they run a restaurant or
Wahlburgers.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. He's doing something now.
He's a cunt.
But you got Morris. Are you gonna keep the list of games, movie games, a surprise for what you're gonna be reviewing this month?
I'm doing Super Mario Brothers, Double Dragon, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat.
Awesome.
Double Dragon. I was excited to. I watched a lot as a kid, and it had Alyssa Milano with short hair and wearing jean shorts, and so it was fine.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it that much.
Sounds appealing enough for me to watch it.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The guy from Terminator 2, the bad guy.
I know who you're talking about.
He plays an Asian guy in Double Dragon. He plays the bad guy in it, Shunko, who's Asian. He is not Asian, and I do not know why that casting. So I don't really,
Yeah, so you legit don't love that Super Mario Brothers movie, huh?
It's fucking terrible, man.
I love that movie so
it is a
much, dude.
soulless movie. It is a soulless movie. I'm serious. Everybody, the people that did that movie, the directors, hated everything about Mario, and it shows.
I guess I think I unknowingly separate it.
If I were to give you this movie and not call it Super Mario Brothers, you would not know it was about a video game because nothing in it has anything to do with Mario.
That's true. I mean,
and they don't even they barely even reference things from Mario.
I guess I just fucking automatically separate it.
Even if you separate it, it's still a. Dennis Hopper said it was the worst movie he ever did.
I don't give a shit.
It is so the plot doesn't make any sense. Why did dinosaurs evolve into people?
Who cares?
And why were some of the mushrooms? Lance Hendrickson has one line in it. You wasted Lance fucking Hendrickson.
You know what, man? Who I don't even know who that is actually. Who is that? Remind me who that is.
You ever see the show Millennium?
No.
You ever see Pumpkinhead?
Yes.
He's the guy from Pumpkinhead. He was an alien. Okay. He was a Pumpkinhead. It's Lance Henderson. Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Up. Jesus Christ.
Wikipedia. Fuck's sake. I lose Lance Henderson. I don't fucking sit here and explain it. He's a famous horror actor. And you'll waste
buddy, just take some mushrooms and watch Mario again.
Dude, if I took mushrooms, you'd have the worst trip in your fucking life if you took mushrooms to watch Mario. Because you'd see Mojo Nixon there, and it's, you know what? This is the worst movie Mojo Nixon has ever done, and he's done nothing good. Butt Crack is another movie he was in, and the movie's name is Butt Crack, and it's better than the Super Mario Brothers. And you know what it's about? A guy who turns into a zombie because somebody says the word butt crack unrepeated for 18 times. And it's still better than the Super. It is still a better movie. And the best line Mojo Dixon has in that is, Jesus is in my pants, making me do a little dance. And that's still better than anything he did in Super Mario Brothers.
They're just fucking hating on it, man.
It's everybody hated it. Bob Hoskins broke his hand because he was drunk. He hated the movie so much. It was such a terrible film. The people that did it
fucking make some Mario Brothers memes. And,
the people that did it never got work again. For obvious reasons. No, it's not. They fucking were terrible and everybody hated them.
No, and you know what? I loved it.
Yeah, you're a bad person. He's a bad person.
No, you're a bad person. That's why you didn't like him. You don't get the fucking privilege of liking
it's terrible. It's privilege, not like, hey, if Dennis Hopper hates it, I can hate it. Okay.
I love that movie, man.
We were talking. So I have my notes here are
all over the place.
All over the place. Speed / pee hole / depression / Royal Rumble.
You're still on Patreon mode, dude. Fucking turn it off.
I talking about?
You're still on Patreon mode. Just turn that shit off.
Okay, well, am I talking about? I do have a pee hole story. I don't know if it's appropriate to tell.
How about we save it for the Patreon?
I gotta save all my filthy stuff for the Patreon. We gotta give some content away to the people.
Okay, let's hear the pee hole story.
Now I don't want to tell it because it's weird. Now I've been adequately shamed about my deformed pee hole.
I want to hear about your deformed pee hole.
Okay,
why is it deformed?
I took a bunch of methadone one time, which is speed.
Okay.
And I couldn't come for like 2 days. And I
you could come fast enough for what?
I stuck a thing in my urethra.
Fun.
And it cut my dick hole. So I peed in 2 streams for like years after that.
You know, this is when everyone turns it off, right?
If they got to this, they're not turning it off. Trust me. People love this shit about my deformed area.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I've had a lot of action down there. So it's a lot of friction and stuff happening. People are slicing me.
Sacred genitals.
Yeah. The holy. I told you I found the drawings of my genitals, didn't I?
Who drew them?
My ex-girlfriend drew them.
Okay.
And after she moved out, I found a book of drawings of my genitals. Well, I'm passed out or whatever, I guess.
So I can be expecting a meme of of Leland holding up the paper and it's actually a
picture. I threw
Yeah.
it away. I had to throw it away. I was forced to throw it away years ago, and I wish I'd kept it. I would have loved to just have a book of my genitals. It was recently your anniversary. How did that go?
My anniversary was fantastic. Thank you. We this is the fastest.
That's the next note.
We're going from the deformed pee hole story
What
to
the fuck am I talking?
Anniversary with my lady.
Yeah, so my deformed people. So how's your anniversary?
Oh my god! To
Christmas past. How was that for the kids?
To scar genitalia to like.
How was that for the kids?
More wholesome. Type.
So I'm just saying I had trouble peeing in public restrooms because I peed in 2 streams for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pain in the ass.
So you'd have to aim it just right. You have to know how far
right
apart the streams should be.
I did some complicated math that would figure out the angle.
Because it's better to keep it vertical, right? You don't want to.
You want to keep it, yeah. Well, I have to go at an angle, so I'd stand at an angle and just kind of. That's the largest part of the bowl, you know.
My anniversary was great. That's all I can say about it. It's not going to compete with your deformed pee hole story.
I mean, it's fine now. It's still longer, I guess, than the average pee hole. But don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, you start peeing flat.
I was like 16 when it happened too. It was fucked me up.
You're 16?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So it was what, 20 years ago for you?
Somebody told me Valentine's Day is coming up. I fucking hate Valentine's Day. I'm sick and tired of these holidays.
February?
What month is it? Now.
It's right now it's January.
No. I'm sick and tired of shit. New Year's and stuff.
What are you sick and tired of about it?
Everything. I'm just saying this all the years are fake.
Are you just tired of the whole life thing?
No, I mean, a little bit, but like I'm sick and tired of the passage of time that we define it as. It's all bullshit. We made it up, and now we're we impose ourselves on our own made up nonsense.
It doesn't have to be bullshit. I mean,
but it is bullshit. It doesn't have to be, but it is.
I mean, that's the wrong word. It doesn't have to be a negative thing for it to be bullshit.
It is. You just told me you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. That's bullshit.
I see another positive thing that it did arbitrary. For me.
It's arbitrary that we do that we impose these impositions on people, on humans. We have
I put in a lot of hours.
This good earth provides us food and sun and wonderment, and we impose these things on ourselves and humanity for no reason but greed.
I understand what you mean.
I could be laying in the woods having a deer lick my nipple. You know what I mean? Like I could be doing that.
Which sounds nice, but I don't know, man. I feel like there has to be some strife. There has to be some.
What are you, Catholic? To toil?
No, I don't know, dude. It's just I think
suffer is divine.
I don't know. I can't find the verse to explain it. I just think there's something to be said for having that balance in your life where you are miserable
part of the time.
Yeah, in a sense, yes.
I don't want to be miserable. I would like to be happy, and that's where the whole thing falls apart. I think of the line from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Slarty Bartfrost said, and yes, I'm not going to repeat his name. Said,
no, I know Hitchhiker's Guide.
So he's talking to him, and he's like, "Well, I'd rather be happy than right anytime." And Arthur goes, "Well, are you happy?" And he goes, "Well, that's the whole thing falls apart."
That's great. I don't know, man. It's how much I talk about balance, right? And I think there's something to be said about all the good times I have, being so good. Are you saying by comparison the good times would be less good if you did not suffer in some fashion? I think so. I think it would give me a clouded sense of what I'm experiencing in my life or what I'm being appreciative of. So you need like punch it in the face before you get off, huh? No, not in that sense. How you don't appreciate the one if you don't have the other? It's a balance.
the agony and the ecstasy. You know what I mean?
Well, I can choose what that balance is going to be. You know?
Can you?
Well, I can choose not to get punched. I mean, well, actually, I don't choose that.
I don't know if you can choose not to get punched. If someone's punching you, you're getting
put
punched.
myself in a situation where I'm most likely not going to get punched.
Well, I imagine this scenario, it's your lady punching you because of the aforementioned.
Well, that's the thing. That's the scenario because she's not going to punch me.
Fucking, I don't know, man. She gets awful hot at you about shit. I've seen her eyebrows. Man. She gets pissed. She's Latin lady, right?
Yeah, fiery.
She'll fucking punch you. Yeah. I have been punched by every Latin woman I dated.
They do that.
Yeah, one of them is one who stabbed me, the Mexican girl.
See that? Yeah, you know, it's a punch or a stab.
They're come on, you shiv. You got a shiv. You give her a fucking toothpick, she'll figure out how to jam you. You know what I mean? It's a bad time. This is not disparaging any Latin women out there, but you will have a temper that is unparalleled.
It's fiery. Just fiery. This is how you can say it.
That's like, you know, I think it was the League was talking about how the words commentators use indicate the race they're talking about. If someone is fiery, they're Latin. If someone is a hard worker, they're white. If someone is naturally athletic, they're black.
That's very
and there's
very
some truth to that. Like, oh, we got Jimmy Scott out there, and he's a with James Thompson out there, he's a hard worker. He's just a white guy. Oh, we got.
Did you say Jimmy Scott?
I said it first, and I changed it because Jimmy Scott's black guy. But then, we got they use it. You know what I mean? It'll be like Damian Smith. He's a naturally athletic, and you know what the guy looks like. I don't need to see him. Probably a black guy. You know what I mean?
That's very true, though. That's
and I never the coding in the wording. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a very interesting thing. There's always a weird coding in language.
Yeah, we got Julio. You know, he's a real fiery temper on that one. Like why does he have to have a fiery temper? Why can't he just have a regular temper? We don't know. I don't know. He can't have a bad mood.
It's got a storm of a temper or something.
Yeah. What do you think? I don't know what they say for Asian people.
I don't know.
Calm demeanor.
Probably just stuff that's too terrible to say. I don't know.
Word Zen, probably.
Zen. That's not a bad thing.
He's got a Zen-like focus.
No, I don't know what that coded phrase would be to describe an Asian.
It's probably something like that, because what was it, the clip of Jackie Chan talking about how he hates people do this thing at him? You know what I mean? He's on Graham Norton.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate that. I agree. Why would you come through and say that? Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would anyone do that?
I don't know. People do it. I could see people doing it though.
I can see people doing it too. Yeah.
Like he doesn't know he's fucking Jackie Chan. Like you have to make sure he knows. You know what he does in movies.
Some people just don't know what to do, man. They're just so socially awkward and just they just don't know.
I would tell you.
I feel bad for them a lot of times.
I would tell you the story when I saw the Damned the first time.
Oh, you actually saw them live?
Oh, so I'm on a damn documentary.
Oh, nice.
They interviewed me and I assume they interviewed me because I had a hot girlfriend with me, and I assume that's why she's like a goth. She was like a goth girl, and so I assume that's why they picked us.
Maybe. What's the name of the documentary? I want to see it.
It's on YouTube somewhere. I never watched it.
What? You got to link it to me because I'd love to watch it sometime.
I'm on it. They interviewed for like it was when their return tour. They weren't able to get in the country for some reason. And then it's like 2 years later they came in and they talked to us about it. And I just said a bunch of nonsense. But before then, the first time I saw him, I got so fucking wasted that I slept through the opening band. And then I was told this. I don't remember. I woke up and apparently talked to the opening band for the remainder of the second band about stuff. He's like, my friend was like, you're just talking to him about like movies, stuff like that. And he's like
talking a bunch of shit.
He's like, I had no idea how you. And I was like, do you know them? And I'm like, no, that's the opening band. I started talking. I was like, oh, I saw you guys. And then we started getting into the thing. So I have no. But then if I'm sober, I get so nervous talking to like famous people or like semi-famous people. Where I've seen you talking to bands, you get clammed up.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when. And
they're not. I mean, they're not quite big yet, you know?
Well, no, I think it's also the element of, because I would have loved to say more during the actual, more during the podcast,
You're
but
afraid
also
you were going to say something stupid about your pee hole?
no, I didn't. I think I was too worried about talking over people, but that's how these things go. People talk over each other, and
literally talk over you 60% of the episodes.
I know, but you know what? I think that also goes to show how it would be probably socially in that kind of situation, where I'd probably be a little bit more quiet and reserved and wait for that. It's those moments. It's a lot easier to interject,
Yeah.
And
I'm quite a boisterous individual as well. That's just me.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have a commanding presence.
Yeah. I think it depends on if you're in the room with me, I think I am a little bit more reserved. But if I'm just with a lot of people that aren't like you, I think I do stand out a little bit.
What do you mean, you people?
you fucking people.
People like me. I didn't know the Irish were getting bashed so thoroughly.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking Irish.
I'm Black Irish, so it's fine.
No, but you know what I mean, though, right? I think that's
yes.
you can call
No,
an alpha type thing, alpha beta type.
That doesn't
thing.
exist. But I'm with you.
Whatever.
Idea,
yeah.
I don't believe in the alpha thing. I don't believe in that. Do you buy that?
In a certain sense, because maybe I think I do.
Why would you want to be a pack of dogs or wolves? I'd rather be like a lion. There's just one of you just chilling, and the woman does all the work. I don't want to be a bunch of shitty cold wolves that have to work together because they suck. I'm just gonna be a fucking tiger. Fuck that. You know what tigers do all day? Nothing. They don't fucking do nothing. They get an elk and then they go lay down. Wolves things kill wolves, bears, and wolves are pussies. They're afraid of everything. Why would you want to be an alpha of a shitty thing?
Yeah, I guess in that sense, I mean, it works though, doesn't it? For
yes. If you're a guy who says alpha, you're probably a shitty thing too. You know what I mean? You're one of those guys.
Well, no, I would never refer to myself as anything positive. So
I just mean and also the alphas help get food. That's the point of an alpha male, is to make sure that everyone is fed.
It's they help with the survival and everything.
Yeah. So you bringing me snacks, or are you making me a charcuterie board, or what are we going out to? Applebee's? What are we doing? We're not. You got to make a decision. I couldn't be alpha because I can't decide where I want to go eat.
That's the main problem between me and my lady all the time, deciding when we're going to fucking eat.
That's why I'm happy I'm not in a relationship.
Because for that reason, that's why you're happy.
That is the one. If I had to pick one reason, it would be that I don't want to have to talk about food. I don't want to talk about food. Like with Ava, I'm like,
it can be a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What about this? Well, I don't want to do that. So you pick. Well, how about this? Well, I don't want that. Fuck you.
What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want?
I used to do this thing with my ex where I was like, okay, get in the car, and we would just start driving until she picked a place. I would not stop driving until she picked a place. And one time we drove 3 hours.
Just to prove a point?
She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep driving until you decide, because I'm not fucking doing it, because you don't want to eat, because it doesn't matter what I pick. You're going to say no. So we're going to keep driving until you pick a place. So we ended up 3 fucking hours away. Food was really good. I don't remember what the place was. Food was really good. But, and after that, I was like, I'll do it. It kind of got fun after that it was like a trip. You know what I mean? But I'm fucking hungry.
You got to take care of that hunger.
Please pick a place, because it didn't matter what I said, it was wrong. So,
well, speaking of which, that it might be a good time to mention that's what me and Miley will have to do right now too, to try and fucking decide a place to eat.
Oh, it's yeah. Well, this was a good one. We're gonna have potentially a guest tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. Next show. Her husband's getting or her dad is getting a hysterectomy, so we're gonna see about that.
Yeah,
I'm glad that of all my notes, the 2 that I got was about my pee hole and about your anniversary. Where are you guys gonna go eat?
Well, I think we're just gonna decide on what we're gonna fucking order.
What are you gonna order?
I don't know.
I had Chinese today.
I can't wait to find out.
Can't wait to find out what I get. Oh Lordy. All right. This was
All right,
good.
buddy.
Good video games. Yeah. All right.
Fun video
All right,
games.
everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Love you, buddy. Talk.